being a first fruit. That you have to go beyond giving God first fruit. Give him first fruit for multiplication in your finances. Because that's what we are still discussing. If the first fruit is holy, the rest of the lumps are. If the first fruit is holy, then the whole lump is. Do you see? If the root is holy, so are the branches. This law says, don't bother about too many things. Just take the first fruit. The first fruit is the root. The first fruit is the foundation. If you come to a family and you want to impact the whole family, don't bother about the whole family. Go after the father or the mother. Just one person is all you need. But make sure that one person is the key to the rest. That's what first fruit is. In a business, the key that affects the rest for a businessman is his capital. You see? So when he takes it and invests it, that's what is supposed to build his income, his profit, and grow that business till that business start getting branches and everywhere. You want to connect the X factor, the supernatural, to that business. Take 10% of it and give that. There is another way to do it. You don't have to touch the root of your business, which is your capital. Wait till you make the first profit. Invest it within the local market. The first profit you make, the first income you make in this business, bring it. That's what is called first fruit. So it's either you do it before or you do it after. When farmers have few corn left, few seeds left, it sounds wiser to eat it and be broke. But every man that understands multiplication knows that it is wise when rain starts falling to put it in the ground. First fruits. And this is how you do it. This is how you do it. Deuteronomy chapter 26. It shall come to pass, when you are coming to the land that the Lord your God has given you for an inheritance, and possess it and dwell therein. Yes, verse 2. That you shall take of the first of the fruit of the earth. That you bring out of the land that the Lord has given you. You shall put it in a basket. Then you go to the place that the Lord your God chose to place his name. You bring it to service. You bring it to the temple. If it's Old Testament, to the temple, bring it to church. Verse 3. And you shall go to the priest that shall be in those days, and say to him, I profess this day to the Lord thy God, that I am come unto the country that the Lord sware to my fathers to give us. Verse 4. And the priest shall take the basket out. This is first fruit. He shall take the basket out of your hand and set it down before the altar of the Lord. Now watch. Now. And thou shalt speak and say before the Lord, a Syrian ready to perish was my father. He went down to Egypt, sojourned there. You know how the Jews went down to Egypt, the patriarchs, and then they were very few then, and became a nation there, great and mighty and populous. They grew in number. Verse 6. The Egyptians oppressed them. The Egyptians evilly entreated us and afflicted us and laid upon us hard bondage. Verse 7. See what he's teaching them. When you bring your first fruit, remember the days of small beginning, where you were nobody, where God brought you from. And as you grow in the things of God, you must always keep remembering. People get to a point, they forget who they used to be. They forget. Pictures don't lie. There are some of the old pictures, when I see them, I wonder, is that me? Because as God transforms, you don't see it when it's happening, but it's happening. He said, when you come back, remember you were slaves. You were in bondage. Remember who you were when I brought you out. And part of first fruit is acknowledging God first in your finances. And not just in your finance, but also in your life. And always remembering where he took you from. And then the thing moves you to a whole new level. Anyway, he said, when you come before God, you should say that. Yes, verse 8. And the Lord brought us forth out of Egypt with a mighty hand, with outstretched arm, with great, yes, with signs and wonders. Verse 9. And he has brought us to this place. So I want to go to the prayer, the section of the prayer that changes. Verse 10. This is what you tell God. So first of all, you remind yourself and remind him, I know where you brought me from. I know what things used to be. I know who I used to be. I know I used to be in bondage to drugs or in bondage to alcohol or to this or to that. I know I used to be this sickly person. I know I used to be this when you saved me. Then you move to this part. Now, behold, I have brought the first fruit of the land. Lord, that you have given us, and I have set it before the Lord my God, and I worship, and you worship before the Lord. Verse 11. And you shall rejoice in every good thing which the Lord thy God has given thee, and unto thy house. You see, and you and the Levites and the stranger that is among you. Verse 12. When thou hast made the end of tithing all the tithes of thy increase in the third year, and in the year of tithing, and has given it to the Levites, the stranger, the fatherless, the widow, and you may eat within thy gates. Verse 13. Then you shall say before the Lord God, I have brought away the hallowed things out of my house. This is one of the things I say. Apart from thanksgiving and acknowledging God for order, I always let him know this. I've removed the holy things from my house. Pastor Jedima, you remember when they went into the promised land? One human being called Achan violated this law. The first land they possessed was Jericho. God said, as far the first one, it is hallowed to the Lord. Don't take any gold, don't take any garment, don't take nothing. Everything is a curse unto the Lord. If you take it, it will destroy, it will cause ruin. The rest of the cities you will take. But this first one, take all the spoils, go and dedicate it to the house of the Lord. It's first fruit. It's the first victory. Because if you eat the first fruit, you suffer defeat in the other things. If you consecrate the first fruit, the rest will be holy. You have won all the other battle. You have won all the other battle with one. If you mess up the foundation of the building, you have destroyed the whole building. If you get disease in the root, the whole tree is messed up. It's better to infect a branch than to infect a root. You see, if Adam did not fall, we won't be falling. The reason his mistake affected the whole human race was because he was first fruit. The reason Christ, obedience, death, and resurrection could save all of us is because he's our first fruit in the New Testament. So if you are the devil and you understand this law, what you do is you want to destroy a family, attack the father. Because the sins of the father will come upon every other person. But the sins of the children will not affect other people. It will affect only him. If you capture the first fruit, you have captured everybody. Whatever happens to the first fruit affects every other. That's why this year, don't just give first fruit. Become God's first fruit. Why? Because what you become will affect everybody in your family. The struggles your brothers and sisters are going through, you can destroy it. Your own consecration. Because first fruit, you see, Jesus gave thanks. Nothing multiplies in your hand. It multiplies when you lift it and put it in his hands. Until it is given, multiplication does not happen. Multiplication does not happen because you call that thing seed. No, it happens when it's planted. Multiplication happens when it is given. The X factor begins with thanksgiving. And after thanksgiving, he broke it and gave it. That's when it multiplies. Go beyond the giving of money because you will get the result in your money. Go to becoming a first fruit, to giving of your life, so you can get result in the lives of members of your family and whosoever that you represent. By being a first fruit, I create a blessing for families of Dominion City. Because if I start misbehaving, the thing will not be private. It will ruin the lives of these pastors. You have to understand that. The pilot can ruin the lives of the passengers. The driver can ruin the lives of the passengers. There are people following you. There are people you represent. When you get born again and you are a child of God, offer yourself before God on behalf of other people in your family. Because the Bible says, you shall be saved, you and what? But many of you are not doing that yet. So you don't stand there for people. You stand for yourself. You have not understood your calling to be a priest. When I got saved, I was the only one, not only in my family, but the whole extended family. And then I understood that I was now the first fruit from my family to be saved. And I'm the one that will open the door for others. It puts first fruit, brings a blessing, makes you a carrier of a blessing, but first fruit also puts responsibility on you. Because as a foundation, you are to carry the weight of the whole building. As the root, you are the one holding the whole tree up. So there is a blessing part, there is a responsibility part. And thank God they taught us early. And because they taught us, I understood that. I cannot misbehave. Everybody in that house is watching me. If I start misbehaving, I destroy their chance of getting saved. What preaches to the people at home more is what they are seeing in your life. So I understood then I was God's advert in my home. I'm the marketing agent in my home. And I'm marketing Jesus, marketing his kingdom. And then beyond that, so I carried my life and now consecrated to the Lord. And I made a deal. I said, make me an example of your kindness. People have heard that you are merciful. People have heard that you are kind. People have heard that you are a good God. The devil goes around telling everybody that you are a bad God. That you are not what you say you are. So the people in my home have opportunity now to know whether you are good or bad. Make me an example. Advertise with me. You can boast with me. I saw you boasting over Job, telling the devil, don't boast with the devil about me. Boast with my people in my home. Show with me how good you are. Show with me how kind you are. Show with me this thing you've been saying. That the blessings of Abraham. And God loves it when you start operating in representative position. That's what makes you a first fruit. Because now, and I ended up signing the deal. I will never misbehave. You won't see me womanizing because they are watching. You won't see me. I will be a person of integrity and I'm going to represent you well and I'm going to walk in uprightness. And that's what I did. I kept my own part. It's a consecration. It's a life that is given. A first fruit that is kept back will not produce. Look at what that means. He says, see, I have brought away the hallowed things out of my house. I have also given them to the Levite, to the stranger, to the fatherless, and to the widow, according to your commandments. I have not transgressed your commandment, neither have I forgotten them. Now watch verse 14. I have not eaten thereof in my mourning, even when I'm in pain, even when I'm in mourning. Neither have I taken away all thereof for unclean use. nor given aught thereof for the dead. I have hearkened to the voice of the Lord my God, and have done according to all you have commanded me. And this is what I tell God every time. I've removed the hallowed things. When it has to do with my finances, I've removed it. There is no accosting in my house. So the blessing has to come. Look at the next verse, 15. Look down from thy holy habitation from heaven, and bless thy people Israel and the land which you have given us, as you swore to our fathers. Make it that land that flows with milk and honey. So you cannot ask for the blessing on yourself. You can ask on your family. These people were even taught, whenever you do, ask for blessing, not only for yourself, for the whole nation of Israel. I told you that thing operates in a representative capacity. If you limit it to only yourself, it will work. But if you extend it, you can help many, many people. You can start receiving resources beyond your needs. If your need is 100 million, you can start getting resources in billions. So you can be a blessing. Because the idea of God is, I want to bless you so you can become a blessing. In thee shall all the nations of the earth be blessed. A person that operates in this principle can use it to change one ministry, federal ministry, can use it to change a community, can use it to change a family. At least start by changing your family, your business. This business is going to be giving you a first fruit or a tithe, either one of them. And we want you to make us an example among other competitors in the same field. Set us apart. Others will know that there is a difference between those that work with you, those that serve you, and those that don't. Look down from heaven and bless. Verse 16, this day the Lord thy God has commanded thee to do these statutes and judgment, and thou shalt therefore keep and do them with all your heart. Verse 17, thou hast avouched the Lord this day to be thy God, and to walk in his ways, and to keep his statutes. And verse 18, the Lord has avouched this day to be that you be his peculiar people, as he has promised thee. So I commit myself to the Lord to walk in his ways. God commits himself to me to be my God, and that I will be his peculiar person. There's no marriage where the vow is only one direction. It's two-sided. You consecrate, God consecrates. If you commit, he commits. If you give, he gives. He starts giving. When the bank says, open an account with us, you can't come and now ask them for loan without first opening an account. You can't ask for withdrawal without first opening an account. That's what God is doing here. You commit, he commits. You consecrate, he consecrates. And he consecrates himself only to the man that consecrated himself to him. You avouch yourself and commit yourself to the Lord. He avouches himself to you. So anytime you offer first fruit, make some of those prayers. I recognize who I used to be, where you brought me from. You took me out of Egypt, out of sin, and you saved me. But now, Lord, I put you first in my finance. I put you first in my life. And I vouch myself to you and consecrate myself to you to be your first fruit. Dawson wrote a song about sacrifice. He said, receive this living sacrifice. I am your worship. Think about that. Is wanting to offer God worship, another thing is to be his worship. Another thing is to offer God sacrifice, another thing is to be the sacrifice. Go beyond giving first fruit to becoming one. The man that is now a first fruit, it doesn't stop him from giving first fruit. I still need blessing in my finances, but I want to be the blessing to my generation. I want to be the carrier of the blessing. I'll tell you, there is a big difference between these two guys. The one that just gives God gifts, but keeps himself, will only get partial blessing because he has that gift blessed. But the one that gives God gifts and gives God himself will become the blessing.